Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now a little less than a year ago I believe I got into my new craft room and I really haven't done much in here as far as decorations. I have the sign you see behind me which I need to hang back up on the wall, and today I'm going to make a smaller sign. So this is just a 12 by 12 canvas board. I got it at Michael's. I got a 5-pack. The price says $14.99. I'm sure I didn't pay that for it. I always buy on discount, or when they have the 40% off coupons, I always use those. So on this, I'm going to use some black HTV vinyl and some pink glitter HTV vinyl. Now this is going to be a really simple project, but if you want to spice up a room in your house or your office, this could be the perfect project. So stick around. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing that. If you do, tap the bell, select the all notifications. That way YouTube lets you know anytime I upload new content. Now the first thing that I used to make my design was this file right here. This is something that I bought from Etsy. Let me go ahead and open this up so you can see it just a little bit better. And it says, crafting is my love language. Now, because this is tall for a shirt, when I took it into Inkscape, I broke it apart and I kind of mushed it together from top to bottom. Now you could either break it apart and move it, or you could just resize it by making it shorter. But I chose to try to keep the proportions of each word about the same, so I just moved each item. And then here's what mine looks like. I also put a Cricut Maker on here. Now, even though I am not at all a girly, I am definitely a pink girl. And so I'm going to make this with black HTV and then my glitter pink HTV that I showed you on the intro. Now my little square here is 12 by 12. I don't quite like how this looks on there, so let me go ahead and take the whole design and let's see what happens if I just stretch it wider. I like that. Then let's lock the proportions and then make it so it fits in there just a little smaller. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and save that and then open my Cricut design space. All right, so let's see how well these cut. Also, let's see how well I have them fitting together in the design. I'm hoping they don't overlap any because you're not supposed to layer anything on top of glitter HTV, but I'd really like to press my HTV first because it can withstand more heat. Now this is an old mat. I have to tape it down. Time to use this for rhinestone flock instead of HTV. And then I know that my design isn't nearly as big as this scrap, so I want to go ahead and cut it off so I don't waste any of this. Now typically HTV weeds really well. It's just super easy to weed. Oop, let me get it off that board. Don't want to accidentally poke through and put a hole in my canvas board. And I did look at it before I pulled it off the machine to see if I thought it cut through. I did, and it's looking like it's perfect. Now I did waste a little bit there, but that'll be okay. All right, so there's the inside of my Cricut Maker. Super cute. And then when I'm cutting off the roll, I like to tend to leave my roll attached. That way I can really cut up close to the design. And then this is just how I like to remove HTV. I kind of hold it down flat and then pull my mat off. Now I have heard that you can break these mats, so I try not to bend back too far. I've never done that. I don't know if anyone has. Let me know if you have. Now it looks like it cut really well, and it didn't cut all the way through the backing, so this should be a breeze to weed as well. Now, even though I feel that way, I do like to kind of take it slow so that I can see if something is lifting up with this. I can push it back down, break apart where I need to break it apart, and then start pulling it right back up. I like to put my layers together just to make sure they look right. And those fit together pretty well. Now here's my dilemma. The glitter takes more heat and it can withstand more heat, but it's a little thicker. So on the one hand, I'd like to press it first because it can take more heat. But since it's thicker, then I'm worried about the pressure on this. But I'm going to go with my gut and I'm going to do this first. Now this is a very different camera angle than I usually do. I usually have my camera overhead so you can see everything I'm doing. There's not a lot to this project and I wanted you to see me press it. So I'm going to stay like this for a while, and then when I peel the last layer off, I'll go ahead and change the camera angle then. Now here my heat press is ready. Here's my canvas board. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just press this just in case there's moisture in there. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat that for 15 seconds. This is the HTV Auto Press. I like it. I did not like the pad that came with it, so I used a replacement. I do have a video on that. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the video description below. Uh-oh. It's stuck. It's stuck, y'all, but now it's down. Now I'm going to go ahead and let that cool down quite a bit. I don't want my HTV to accidentally stick to it before I'm ready. Now, like I said, I'm going to do the glitter first, but to know where the glitter goes, I have to set down the black HTV first. So I have it centered where I want it. I'm just going to slide the glitter HTV underneath into place. Now let me show you what I really did. I ended up sticking the glitter on the back of this, and then I'll lay that down, center the whole design, then the glitter should be in the right place. So there's what I have so far. And so I'm going to hold the glitter down and just peel this top layer off. Now I feel like that could move. So to have some pressure on the top of it, or just a little bit of weight on the top, I went ahead and put a Teflon sheet on top. Now I'm heating this at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. So here's what I have so far. Now this glitter HTV is a hot peel. So let's go ahead and just peel that off. Hopefully it stayed. Looks like it did. And it looks like it's down pretty well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and place this other piece on top of it. Now one thing I did notice is there's a little bit of an indentation where the backing was. So I'm not thrilled with that, but I think it'll be okay. Now I don't know if that glitter HTV shrunk or what, because now there's a little bit of a white gap. It's going to be fine. Obviously I have something sticky on my top Teflon sheet that's on my heat press. I need to fix that. Okay, now before I make a mistake, I need to turn my heat down, because this one says to use a temperature of 285 to 305 for 12 to 15 seconds. So I'm going to turn the heat down and I'll be back when it's ready. All right, that's cooled down to 303, I think it said, so that is fine. I'm going to put this in there. You could do 12 to 15 seconds. I'm going to do the full 15 seconds. It looks fine so far, but remember this is a cold peel, and when an HTV says cold peel, it really means cold peel. Now, when I'm working with things that need to be cold peeled, I like to use a ceramic or a porcelain tile, set it down on top, and that helps pull that heat out quickly. That way, you don't have to wait as long. Okay, that feels pretty good. Let's see if this works together. Let me look at it instead of the lens of the camera. All right, that looks like it's coming off fine. Now, let me give it a good look. You know what? I said I was going to do that with my overhead camera. Now, I want you to see this because this part up here is beautiful. That's adhered really well. You can barely feel it on there. Down here, not so good. It's lumped up. Maybe it's because I pulled it off the way I did, or it might be because the glitter is so thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little mini press. I'm going to try to lay it back down where it goes. And we'll see if I can fix this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to get this off. I'm just going to pull it off, recut just this bottom part of the black HTV, and then press that back on. If I need to, I can heat it up from the back. And that'll probably make it come off, there we go, just a little bit easier. Now at this point, I'm glad I didn't paint this canvas board because I have a feeling if I would have, I might be messing up the paint right now. Pulled a little bit of that glitter HTV up, but it's fine now. So let me recut that and I'll be right back. Okay, so this time what I think I'll do is, I think I'll go ahead and tack it down with my little mini press. Then I can put it under the HTV auto press, and I feel like maybe it'll stay in place just a little bit better that way. Then also this next time, I'm not going to have it up facing away from me and just ripping it off. I'm going to watch what I'm doing. Okay, so like I said, I'm just kind of tacking it down. I'm not trying to get it fully adhered. I just want it to adhere well enough so that it's not going to shift while I put it under the press. That looks good. So let me go press that for 15 seconds and I'll be right back. Now from what I can tell, that looks good. But just like last time, I'm going to cool this off before I try to peel the top off. All right, I'm going to peel this very slowly and it's lifting. I honestly feel like the thickness of this glitter HTV is the problem. So I should have put the black down first. Again, this up here is perfectly fine. So I really feel like that has to be the issue. So I'm going to use this little guy where I can put some really pointed pressure down. Press it on for a while, and then I'll be back to show you how it turns out. So while it's hot, I'm just going to rub this down with this little scraper tool. Try to make sure it's adhered well. You should not have to do this. I'm very confident that if I would have put all the black down first, then the glitter, or use two HTVs that are the same thickness, I wouldn't have this issue. All right, it is the time to see if this worked. Now I'm going to peel this way back. So far, that looks great. And I'm tempted to start cutting this backing off. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy because right here is where it was always lifting up. And then again right in here, and I know it's because of the height difference of the HTVs. Finally, success. Isn't that cute? I love this. Now later on, a few weeks down the road, when the weather warms up, I'm going to get my router out of the garage, fire it up, and make a frame for this. For now, I'll just attach some ribbon or some twine to the back so that I can hang it. But I love how this turned out. So simple. Not simple to make because I had my issues, but a beautiful, simple design. Stark contrast between the black and the white, and then my cute little glitter maker. Thanks so much for watching and hanging it out all the way till the end. This was a rough one on me, and I appreciate so much everyone that watched.